Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Write With Me at IELTS Juice. Today we have an essay to plan, and this is interesting. Here's the rubric, and the rubric says, many working people get little or no exercise either during the working day or in their free time. Let's wait right here. Who is our target audience? Working people. They can be employees, they can be managers, but whatever, the people who work. That means anybody from the ages of 18 to 65, the working age, adults. It doesn't matter whether male or female. It doesn't matter if they're in a developing country or in a developed one. It doesn't matter. Working people. And what's the problem here? They don't do exercise. Oh, well, at workplace? No. Not only at workplace, but also when they're free. Like they're not working. These elements are important. So you might want to consider the elements when these working people are at work and when these working people are not at work and they're maybe at home or with friends or family at home, or maybe not even at home, but whatever they do, it's the time that they would like to spend on the things that they prefer. So they're even at those hours, they do not exercise. Now let's continue. And have health problems as a result. Let's think of some health problems together. Well, if you don't exercise, what happens? Yes, you become fat, but fat is not a very formal word. We can say overweight or obese. Make sure you know how to spell them. What else? Well, some heart diseases. I mean, there are different heart-related diseases. What else? They may get some mental diseases, depression, maybe some chronic fatigue, like they're tired all the time. Or some other diseases, fatty liver, diabetes. Make sure you know how to spell them. And there are, again, the number of diseases related to having a sedentary lifestyle, that is the way you just be stationed and you work just sitting at a desk in front of a computer working, is a lot. So remember that these problems happen, and the rubric here says problems, plural, but I will explain why it's not a problem at the moment. Anyway, stay with me. After reading this rubric, I realized that I need to focus on adults at the working age, working right now, so they're not unemployed or homeless. They are at the workplace. What do? They don't exercise. And as a result, they have a series of diseases. And that's a problem. Now, what does the question actually ask us? That was the topic part. Let's look at the essay type. We have two questions. Why do many working people not get enough exercise? 2. What can be done about this problem? This in the IELTS community is called a two-part question, because there are two questions and we need to address each question separately. Let me bring your attention to the fact that these two questions have their own lines and they're separated. So that is an indication. It's just a simple indication, but this tells us that we need to devote at least one paragraph for each question. So never merge these two questions. That would make your job a lot harder to answer this rubric in this essay. Now, what are we going to do? Do we need an attention grabber as always or not? No, we don't. It's fine. It's completely optional. If you want to put it there, go ahead and put it there. But this is just completely optional. What is a good attention grabber? You need to look at the topic and come up with an attention grabber. You might say, over the past decade, and you can reveal some statistics. You can say the number of obese people who have a job has increased. Or you can say the number of mental disorders among working class people, the number has increased significantly that has caused many health-related issues and even non-health-related issues, like many governments now have to subsidize healthcare systems to help this many people who constantly, for example, if you're diabetic, you need to constantly inject insulin. So you have to constantly pay some money to cover the cost of your medication. That is a stress for every system, for every government. So you can come up with something here. But then, as you connect the information, before you go ahead and say your most important sentence here, you need to introduce your audience. Go a little deeper here in the connecting info part. And here say, please, that these working people, adults, they don't work. They work, but they don't exercise. And these people don't exercise for a variety of reasons. And in the thesis statement, you can say what the reasons are, but just as a label. You can say, yes, there are reasons for that, why these people do not exercise. I suggest 2 reasons. Why? I want you to come up with one reason, and let me separate them. I want you to come up with one reason. That reason is related to when these people are at work. So for example, they have a contract to work 8 hours a day, and the contract doesn't give them any time to exercise during the day. That can be one reason. The second reason should be when they don't work, they are not at the office, they're at home, but they still don't work. Another reason, they have to take another job. Or when they're with their family, they have children. When they're with their families, they have to look after, or I don't know, for example, we're talking about a single mom who works as an employee. While working, she doesn't have time to exercise. When at home, she has to cook, clean the house, looks after the baby, takes care of, I don't know, bills, everything at home. That would be the reason. My suggestion would be to go for this. This is easier to manage. Yes, you can come up with the third reason, and it doesn't matter if the third reason is in this category when they don't work, or in this category when they work, or it might be something completely different. It's not related to if these guys are at work or not. Maybe their financial situation is not correct. There is something wrong with banks. There is something wrong with inflation. There is something wrong with the family structure or the society that they're in. Maybe they're immigrants. You can come up with another one. This is totally optional. But my suggestion, although the rubric doesn't say to come up with more than one reason, it simply says why it is, and you can just say one. My suggestion is to have this separation and go for both of them. Before I forget, this is very, very important. Each body paragraph needs a topic sentence. Simply go ahead, a short sentence telling us the reasons. The reasons are as follows. Or simply say that the reasons can be categorized into two sections. And then this is section one, reason one, you talk about it. Then the section two, reason two, when they are at home, and you explain everything afterwards. That leads us to the second question. So far, we made sure that the first part of the rubric is answered. Good. Now we move on to the second body paragraph. In the second body paragraph, we need to say, okay, what we can do about this problem. In other words, bravo, we need to think about solutions. My suggestion, again, is to come up with two solutions. And my suggestion is that the first solution would be something related to the first problem. So why they're not doing it? Because they have this issue with their boss, or at workplace, they don't, or there's something in their contract. How we can solve this is going to be the first one. The second solution, again, will be somehow related to this one. So when they're at home, they have to look after their babies, they have to pay bills, they have to, I don't know, check their grandfather, grandmother, or check on them. So what the solution is? Well, you can always maybe plan ahead, arrange things, ask for help from neighbors. Maybe you can automate bill payments, so you don't have to manually pay the bills, and you can just talk to your bank and make it automated. You may download an app. You may ask somebody to help you how to download and pay your bills online. Anything, so that you have more time to yourself. Maybe if you cook, you can plan and cook like 6 different dishes during the weekend, so that during the week you only warm them in a microwave and you have food for your family. That's a suggestion. I am just giving suggestions, guys. These are not answers. Use your imagination for that. But this is my suggestion, to come up with at least two solutions. Yes, you can come up with a third solution if you had, where is it? Yeah. If you had another reason, you could also add another solution, something like this. But basically, as you can see, this might increase your essay size to more than 350. That takes things maybe that increases your chance of making more mistakes. So I don't want you to make more mistakes. This is enough. That's it. You don't need to complicate things. Now, in this particular case, I do not suggest adding any more paragraphs. It's best to devote a paragraph to each question, and that's it. This is straightforward and logical. How do we end it? Remember that before we're coming up with any predictions or any suggestions, we actually paraphrase the rubric. There you go. We just paraphrase the rubric. And this is not necessary this time. Why? Because you can write two sentences, and you can, let me borrow the topic sentences. Let's play a little game here. Okay. I told you today will be really interesting. So you don't have to write this. but we need 2 sentences here. What do? You can just basically get another version, paraphrase version of this paragraph's topic sentence as your first, and you can get another paraphrase version of this paragraph as your second sentence, and you put them here. And you summarize by saying, these are the reasons in the 2 categories that why these people do not exercise at work or at home. And to tackle this, and that would be the first one, the second sentence will be, and to tackle this, or don't start a sentence with and, just say, in order to tackle these issues, my suggestion would be to first focus on this, and second, focus on the other one, in order to address the problem in both areas. So to make sure that these people exercise either at work or at home. Now, this is my suggestion. You can, of course, come up with your own style. You might wanna, you might wanna, I don't know, add another element, take a different approach. To me, this is very straightforward. This is safe, clear, logical, easy to use, manageable, and without many complicated items. Well, if you wish to see a sample on this essay, done, assessed, and improved, click over here. If you wish to see other essays assessed and planned like this, actually, or letters or reports, click over here. And remember, eat healthy.